Yeah. Glitch the guarantee. E&E. With your boy shit. Glitch, nigga. Shit, I'm about to flood the streets like when the levees break. Criminal minds, my Garcia can navigate. Flowing while I'm blowing this gas. Nigga, no brakes. Niggas not seeing me ever. I mean, no dates. Fuck around and end up gone. You getting misplaced. E&E, the shit that I claim. You dealing with grace. Took over the game by storm like Rain's mixtape. Thankfully, I've been up in smoke like my mixtape. Counting cheddar shit, I'm about to make a grilled cheese. Niggas be faker than bad bitches with good weeds. On my John Wick shit like Keanu Reeves. Replacements won't be enough, you need the whole team. I've been a G since I could finish my ABCs. Kept it a buck so real niggas look up to me. This butcher boy shit get crazy when it's sick of me. I'm coughing out these dope bars till they sick of me.
Can't get rid of me, still can't find a remedy. Still blowing palmers, if it comes to Hennessy. E&E, we own our shit independently. When I go out on a limb, I take extremities. I can see right through on transparency. Heard they self-esteem low, insecurities. Now or never, like glitch the guarantee. What's the recipe? King L's Reflection 3. All these chapters in my life, you can turn a page. Books can't tell you my story, gotta live a day. Glitch got my back, yeah, you can copy that. Man, we control the seat, you can copy that. Leave your whole state red like Republicans. Putting fire on the track, now it's bubbling. Butcher boys, E&E, you in trouble, kid. At first 100 mil, you can double it.
Let's go, let's go. All the hustles getting money, let it show. Let it show. Automatic nigga, how we get the dough. Get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Gotta go. Butcher boy shit, nigga, let's go. Let's go. All the hustles getting money, let it show. Let it show. It's automatic nigga, how we get the dough. Get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Gotta go. Butcher boy shit, nigga, let's go.
Blow sick, corona, jealous in the motherfucker. Can't even take a step, that's how far I trust you. This black boy turned to shining king under pressure. West side fat jacks, I took more to measure. Shave the extras, that's business. Started feed street blues, what I talk, royal blood flowing free. Power on my mind, knows the gang is kind. Read between the lines, it was in my eye. If they ain't got real lines, it ain't hard to spot a counterfeit. Undefeated, ultra real, Fern Gully Mountain shit. Couple hot shots, turn on the frozen margaritas. Even better when it's served with some flawless features. Next year they gotta pay for these flawless features. Flawless victories from the flaws that they teach us. Now my flow imitate how I board the plane non-stop. The little J gon' take over with my time side.
Yeah, I get right to it. My nigga, we beg your pardon. We putting niggas back in boxes. Yeah, they be harder. My flow be retarded. Sick, I need hella help. My groove came back. This must be how Stella felt. We just started kicking it like a yellow belt. We all made it to the pros. This is how LaMelo felt. You better yell out help. Here comes the double team. You catch me in the spot, then you know that the boy is clean. The Louis V look mean with the magazine. So if you try it, you get shot. No vaccine. If you was asleep before I came, then I'm the caffeine. I pull the jokers out the deck. Get her ain't no laughing. In CEO fashion, we sticking to the business. Wouldn't even let a vegan knock me off my chicken. Something about the BBS when the sun is hitting. Should be flashing like the lights when you getting
Let's go, let's go. All the hustles getting money, let it show. Let it show. It's automatic, nigga, how we get the dough. Get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Gotta go. Butcher boy shit, nigga, let's go. Let's go. All the hustles getting money, let it show. Let it show. It's automatic, nigga, how we get the dough. Get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Gotta go. Butcher boy shit, nigga, let's go.
It's your brother, man. I apologize for being tardy. About to get straight to it, man. Listen, smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. Now, just like when it, hey, man. So the rumors is true. They ain't really rumors; it was facts. And it just lets you know that it's a certain narrative that's trying to get painted behind this. You know what I mean? Now, just get this clear, right? You know what I'm saying? We ain't never just over here advocating for violence. You know what I'm talking about? I tried has put a lot of effort, into not pushing or promoting ideologically based violence, which is very difficult to do. Because ideologically based violence, as I'm going to explain it on here in a second, you know, it's a lot of stuff that can be considered ideologically based violence. And this is the main reason why I'm going to keep, especially this specific situation right here. One, because it's in my home state of Ohio. Two, Cincinnati is like my second home. If I didn't live in Columbus, I probably would be living in Cincinnati. You know what I'm saying? Three, man, this is a perfect example of what I'll be talking about when I be talking to y'all about HR 1955. When I be talking to y'all about violent radicalization, ideologically based violence, and homegrown terrorism. And this type of situation right here is going to be, or is going to be used, or is being used, right, to make sure that these HR 1955 protocols get implemented on all levels of society, state, local, federal, right? I mean, it's already federal law, which means each state is subject to it. But like a lot of Senate bills and a lot of House resolutions, a lot of y'all don't know nothing about this stuff. And you know what? This is how you know. This is why you shouldn't trust people in authority, right? And the system itself. On the same hand, they tell us that ignorance of the law does not prevent us from being subject to it. But at the same time, they don't tell us about all the laws, though. They don't tell us about everything. You know how many people be DMing me, emailing me, talking about some, what's this HR 1955 you be talking about? And then another aspect of that that's crazy to me, because every time I talk about it, like I'm going to do tonight, I'll bring it up on the screen for y'all. All you got to do is go to government or us.gov, or just go to your Googler and put in HR 1955. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you in real time. Just so you know I ain't bullshitting, which I would never do. I ain't got time for that, man. I got no time to be sitting here coming live, spending the $50 a month on StreamYard to just come bullshit y'all, man. You know? Be for real, man. I want to know how many of y'all sit up there and actually right? Actually went and read it for yourself, which I always encourage y'all to do. Don't take my word for it, man. All right. I keep telling y'all, man, listen, I'm showing y'all in real time, man. I'll pull it up on the screen. All right. That's what I be telling y'all, man. Gotta do your due diligence, man. It's a must. It's an absolute must. Now, we're gonna get to the whole situation in Cincinnati and all that, right? But we got first things first. You know, a lot of y'all be emailing me, DMing me, right? And I'll be sitting up here every time I speak on this topic, this subject, which is a lot, very frequently. I done did whole shows specifically on this, right? So I'm gonna walk y'all through it. All y'all on Facebook and TikTok, y'all need to go over there to YouTube tap in my name, Virgil Berry, and subscribe to the page. That way, y'all can see what I'm typing on the screen right now when I'm talking about with this HR 1955. What is HR 1955, y'all? Right? 2007, 2008. And y'all hear me talk about this a lot, man. I want to continue to talk about it because as I see what's going on in our current society, a lot of things is transpiring and happening that's going to just basically implement this here legislation on many different fronts, if you will, right? I want y'all to understand that this is law. I mean, this is not me putting something together. This ain't me coming up with a narrative, which I don't even do, but coming up with a narrative and like doing confirmation bias type research, you know what I'm saying, that is very questionable and dodgy and not really based in too much fact. No, this right here, when I talk to y'all about HR 1955, this is law. I want y'all to understand that. This is the law. It's an act of Congress. 2007. It's the last thing George W. Bush did before he left office and before that bitch ass nigga Barack Obama came in there. Right? And when Barack got in office, he did everything he could to slowly but surely creep this into everything we got going on now. Right? HR 1955, the Violent Radicalization and Homegrown Terrorist Prevention Act of 2007. Put a number 11 in the chat if you ever even heard of it before, outside of hearing me talk about it. Right? House Resolution 1955, Violent Radicalization and Homegrown Terrorism Prevention Act, 2007. This legislation is like 18 years old, damn near 20 years old. Oh, so it's been goddamn it. It's been Mars Lowell. What's happening with you, man? I see in the comment section in a minute, Jack. What's good with you? HR 1955 has been secretly implemented through the freaking fibers of every level of government, right? Not only that, also through the ordinances, right? In local, municipalities within cities and stuff. I want y'all to understand how pervasive HR 1955 actually is. I want y'all to pay attention to the stuff that's happening around the country that is contributing to exacerbating, implementing more strict laws, ordinances, you know what I'm talking about, against us, right? As the more crazier and out of control the crime gets. Man, life treated me beautiful, Mars. I can't lie to you, man. It could be better, but it could be worse, man. You hear me? But a brother here, you know what I'm talking about, still doing what we do, still bringing y'all this raw content and breaking these things down to the last compound. Because listen, they, outside of just trying to start, I don't want to say they're trying to start a race war, because race war has been going on for a long time. All wars aren't physical, right? But right now, they're trying to use a race war or ignite a race war in order to create massive civil unrest. Right? I want y'all to understand, like I say, man, The bottom line is to get us all online. Right? And when we think about what's going on in my state of Ohio, my home state of Ohio, by way of Cincinnati, I want y'all to understand that this situation right here is being used to exacerbate, implement further, more strict laws and legislation. And they got HR 1955 to give them the leeway to do it legally. Now, mind you, none of us had no say-so on HR 1955 being passed into law. Put a number 11 in the chat if you familiar and heard of HR 1955. Yeah, this is old legislation, Mars. Be honest with yourself, man. And you know, when you start seeing stuff like this, I can understand how to make you probably maybe kind of feel some type of way, you know, but think of it or look at it as a you know, a wake-up call, man. You know, we need to be more involved in stuff like this. Maybe you might want to inform yourself on stuff, man. Niquay, baby, what's good? You said 11. Oh, yeah. You've been tapping in with me, so of course you know about it. You know what I'm talking about? Like I said, this is the last thing Bush signed into law before he left office in 2007. Before Barack Obama's whole ass got in there, right? Right. So when you got situation, look how violent our country has become post 9/11. In the past, 24 years? Look how violent our country has become. Not to mention all these illegals that have been allowed to just come in here to go and please as they have been for the past, like, 20 years, 30 years. They passed this legislation at a point in our country, right? At a point in our country when the Patriot movement was very, very prominent. At a point in our country when blacks and whites were actually uniting with each other, right? At a point in time where our country was at the same time about to be, as we will find out less than 6 months later, financial collapse in the housing market, as well as education funding, corporations, hedge funds collapsing, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, stuff like that. We got hit with this legislation. Never knew nothing about it. We had no say-so on it. But here it is, 24 years later, and HR 1955 is in full effect. And I want y'all to know that they keep having these situations happen across the country, man. Listen what I'm telling y'all, man. Because in some cases, this is exactly what it is. In some cases, these situations are made to happen. I'm talking about crisis actors. I'm talking about fake everything, right? But in certain situations, I want y'all to understand how societal situations within our society, I should say, are set up to create the environment for stuff like this to happen. I want y'all to be able to understand the difference between the two that I just said. There's a difference between something blatantly being orchestrated, like let's say 9/11, or understand how society is set up in a way to create the environment. Not actually that it was a conspiracy and all this, whatever, CIA or whatever, but how the society has been set up to create the, let's say, energetic environments, if you would, where such things can occur. right? My man Lord Mars say. He said, I kind of feel sorry for the young thugs put there committing crimes or out there committing crime because they will be labeled as homegrown terrorists getting big boy time. Yeah, but listen here, y'all, and this is what I want y'all to keep in mind when it comes to HR 1955. And this is why this whole thing with this race and all this is being set right now, because I'm telling y'all right now, according to HR 1955, race is not going to freaking matter. This is what I wanted y'all to understand. HR 1955 don't respect and or have no white, black, whoever you is. And this is what I want y'all to understand with HR 1955. Right? So when you say you feel sorry for the young thugs, I feel you on that, brother. But at the same time, HR 1955 is not just aimed towards black folks, young black men specifically, like a lot of these crimes are right now. Like a lot of the legislation towards violent crime is specifically geared, formulated to affect us. But with HR 1955, oh no, it don't hold no mirror to just one specific group. This is anybody in America that's considered an American citizen, even illegals. All will be subject to HR 1950 protocols, no matter what your race, color, creed, nationality, sexual orientation, gender identification, financial status. None of that's going to matter according to HR 1955. And that's why I encourage y'all to read this legislation, because y'all going to understand that this is not targeted at any specific group. It's aimed at all of us, man. All of us. And this is what I want y'all to understand when it comes to HR 1955. This is not no legislation that has been manipulated to specifically affect young black men. No. This legislation is targeted crosshairs on everybody, your mama, your daddy, your pastor, even y'all LGBTQ, LMNOP, barbecue committee agenda members. It's aimed at y'all too, right? And I'm going to tell y'all why. Real time, right? You go to Google, you type in HR 1955, right? It's going to take you to, let y'all know this is congress.gov. This is not no made up site. This is the U.S. government's, the Congress, right? This is their official page. When you're dealing with matters of Congress, they're called HR, short for House Resolutions. When you're dealing with the Senate, it will be a SB, standing for Senate Bill, right? This is congress.gov, right? 1955 Violent Radicalization and Homegrown Terrorism Prevention Act of 2007, right? When you go to these online documents of our legislation, you want to go to the text, right? This is an act of Congress, y'all. Like I told you, this is not no made up stuff. This ain't no conspiracy shit. This is law. This is law. I want y'all to understand that. I cannot overemphasize. This is the law. I want y'all to understand that, man. And we had no say so in this. None. We had no say so in this whatsoever. But this is in fact, the law. The former pretty boy was Hannah, man. Got my brother, the former pretty boy, in the building, man. I can't overemphasize that, y'all. I want y'all to understand. HR 1955 is not a conspiracy theory. It is the law, right? prevention of violent radicalization and homegrown terrorism. Now, keep in mind, we're talking about the situation in Cincinnati, right? Exactly. That's what I be telling people all the time, the former pretty boy, right? Yep, they'll post their new Jordans on Instagram, but won't use the internet to go check up on this. I'm talking about, listen to what I'm telling y'all, man. It's a lot of very diabolical, right? A lot of draconian legislation that has been passed and is continuously being passed. But this one right here, HR 1955, this is the catalyst legislation. You hear me? This is the legislation that's going to open up the door to this new system that's coming in. HR 1955 is the catalyst legislation that lead us to where we at today with all this stuff with illegal immigration. Even up until the situation that happened a couple years ago when we was all not able to leave our houses or go to work and stuff like that. Right? And as a result, the so-called George Floyd riots ensued. I want y'all to understand, man, that we being set up and primed and prepped for something very, very nefarious, man. And you got to think to yourself, right? If the so-called George Floyd riots didn't cause, and it did, right? No, you already know the Quay, baby. Like I said, you said this 3 years ago, and we've been watching them fall. Exactly. And listen here, just to add on what the Quay just said, right? Because I don't take no credit for none of this stuff, man. Listen, man, I'm not psychic. I don't know nothing that nobody else knows. I don't know no secrets or none of that shit. I'm just a very intelligent, critical thinking, process of elimination, deductive reasoning, dot connecting ass dude, man. Plus, the Most High has blessed me with the gift of the sight, so I can see it all, right? Way down the timeline, right? And when you think about everything that's going on now, this is all a result of, and to help further bring in HR 1955, right? I constantly go over this with y'all because I want y'all to understand that repetition is the key, right? And I told y'all about NLP, right? Neuro linguistic programming, man. You know, it could be used for good, it could be used for bad, man. You know what I'm talking about? But when I'm talking to y'all about this HR 1955, these three definitions, I constantly go over with y'all. I constantly go over this with y'all. So it can become second nature, if you would. So when you start hearing about this stuff, right? When you start hearing these terms used, and they're using them already when you watch the mainstream media, when you watch Fox, when you watch CNN, HLN, all these different mainstream media outlets, right? Start paying attention to the language. You start hearing ideologically based violence. Watch the talking heads start saying homegrown terrorism, sustainability, resilience, violent radicalization, right? Pay attention to these catchphrases, right? But when it comes to what happened in Cincinnati, I always tell y'all about ideologically based violence. And ideologically based violence means the use, planned use, or threatened use of force or violence by a group or individual to promote the group or individual's political, religious, or social beliefs. Now notice how, and I'm going to get to this a little bit later, notice how in the definition of ideologically based violence, It doesn't specify race, color, creed, nationality, heritage, lineage, bloodline, none of that shit. Income bracket, none of that. I want y'all to understand this, man. And the former pretty boy right. The Patriot Act was the catalyst to this legislation. And then after the Patriot Act, the Military Commissions Act. Prior to the Patriot Act, we have the Bolin Act. And all these acts of Congress have been passed since then. Right? 9/11 set the tone for all of this. Right? Now think about what we're talking about with Cincinnati. Ideologically based violence. Right? It means the use, the planned use, or the threatened use of force or violence. I want y'all to pay attention to that because it says force or violence. It doesn't say force and violence. It doesn't say violent force. It doesn't say forceful violence. It says force or violence, meaning that those are two separate things right there. I want y'all to understand when the interjection or is put into a sentence, that means a separation. We're talking about two not like things when we throw that word or in, right? The prepositional phrase or. So when you talk about force or violence, right, that's two separate things. You know, Daniel Valencia was happening. Holy 123 ZXC was happening. Yes and no, Morris Lowell. And I say yes because due to the environment of what was going on in Cincinnati, yes. And due to the history of Cincinnati, if y'all don't know about it, do your due diligence. The city of Cincinnati in my home state, Ohio, has a long history of dealing with racism with the authorities, if you would. If y'all can remember back to 2000, 2001 when they had the Cincinnati riots. And they was very much rioting down there. Trust and believe, that was acting crazy in Cincinnati. So Cincinnati has a long history of racial tension between them and law enforcement, especially. And amongst the people as well. Right? Understand the difference between, or that the word or being put in there means that there's a separation. Force and violence isn't the same thing. Due to word association, when we hear the word force, we automatically think of something physical. We think of violent force, physical force. And I want y'all to understand that force isn't always physical. There's over 12 different definitions to the word force. One of them is mental or moral strength. Another one is the ability to influence change. Another one is the ability to get someone to agree with you. So force and violence ain't the same thing. So if now let's reread ideologically based violence again, right? It means the use, planned use, or threatened use of mental or moral strength or violence. It's the use, planned use, or threatened use of the ability to influence change or violence. Do y'all get where I'm going with this? This is very, very broad. And this is not, this is making that this legislation ain't geared or aimed towards one group of people. It's aimed towards all of us, because all of us have the ability to influence change. All of us have mental and moral strength to some degree. Nah, it ain't going down like that up here in Ohio, Valencia. Not in Cincinnati especially, right? Understand that when y'all read this legislation, pay attention to the language. They speak in a language called legalese, right? If you ain't never read any of the Black's Law Libraries, law dictionaries, then you ain't gonna know, right? These words mean stuff, man, right? So when y'all think about ideologically based violence, I want y'all to understand that ideologically based violence is not always physical. The U.S. government considers you a victim of spread or guilty of spreading ideologically based violence if you possess the ability to influence people to think different about what the government says they should be doing. That's considered ideologically based violence. Because pay attention to the last part. The use, planned use, or threatened use of mental or moral strength or violence by a group or individual to promote the group or individual's political, religious, or social beliefs. Right? I want y'all to understand how broad that is, and that's not targeting any specific group in America. This is what lets you know that this is for all of us. I don't care who you are, who you think you are, you think you white, you think you got some white privilege. No. Right? And then we get to, now we're talking about Cincinnati now, we think the violent radicalization. This is a term y'all hear me use a lot. Right? The term violent radicalization means the process of adopting or promoting an extremist belief system for the purpose of facilitating ideologically based violence to advance political, religious, or social change. Right? What is an extremist belief system? What could be considered an extremist belief system? How about Christianity? Because a lot of things involved with Christianity go against government law. Like, say, abortion. This lets you know right now that the Most High God, Yeshua Mashiach, is not in the God and trust they talk about on the back of their money. That's not who they talking about. Clearly that ain't who they talking about. So you gotta ask yourself, what God are they talking about? Then you gotta ask yourself, when it comes to violent radicalization, what is an extremist belief system? Right? What's an extremist belief system? What can be considered by the U.S. government to be an extremist belief system? How about FBA? How about MGTOW? How about the sisterhood? How about white people think they're about to click up and move to their own separate part of America, like this silly ass white boy running around YouTube and all social media talking about right now? Can't remember his name. Something Arvil, some goofy looking ass white boy, man. Stupid looking ass white boy. He ain't exempt. This is what I want y'all to understand about HR 1955. This is why this whole race aspect is being exacerbated right now. We being thrown in the trick bag, all of us, right? Even you goofy ass white supremacists, which y'all have the right to be, right? But if y'all don't understand divide and conquer, then go ahead and move to your little enclaves, sectioned and siphoned off from each other, right? See, the worst part about what's going on is that for the most part, collectively, especially, we ain't showing no type of pushback. Matter of fact, and I think this is good to an extent, right? You know what I mean? I'm a firm believer in separate but equal. But due to the levels of trauma and indoctrination within all of us, no matter what your race is in this damn country, right? You would be a fool to think that this government and the people that run it, right, is only gearing this stuff, aiming this stuff at one group of people, right? Wow, man, right? And what happened in Cincinnati, do I think that it was agitated? Could be argued. Who's this Russian guy, so-called Russian guy? Who is he? What's his name? Where he come from? Who his family is? What he do? How long he been living in Cincinnati? Do he live in Cincinnati? Is he connected to them neo-Nazi motherfuckers who just was storming through Lincoln Heights a few months ago? The same people was up here in my city, Columbus, Ohio, on a Sunday in an Italian village where they were absolutely not going to bump into any black folks. Very few if they did. Right? That's up to somebody to do their due diligence and find out. But, and I can't show none of these videos. I'm not going to. Y'all seen it. Y'all seen the videos. If you haven't, go Google it. When this first happened, man, like 3 to 4, I want to say it was like 3 or 4 of my people from Cincinnati hit me up and gave me the scoop on what's going on because, you know, they know what I do. But y'all know how YouTube be tripping. So, I mean, the videos that I got are actually some of the videos that's been released on TV since, but I've gotten the video. See, the video that y'all saw when it first happened, that wasn't the whole thing as we see now. Right? But what's going on now is crazy. Because even after video evidence is now out, showing that this dude slapped fire out of dude. I'm talking about, God damn, man. He slapped dude, right? And my thing is, what does you think is going to happen? Right? And I'm not going to show any footage from this situation. None. Y'all can go see all that stuff. Y'all can go get on your YouTube and y'all can go do it on your own time, man. Right? I want y'all to stay focused on HR 1955 considering this situation. That's what I want y'all to do. Right? Right? So the story goes that this is down here at the Cincinnati Music Festival, Jazz Festival, as we know it as. And the white guy, allegedly a Russian national name, I don't know, Russian something, right? And from what I was told and what has been since reported in the media, there were maybe agent provocateur rabble rousers riding around, walking around downtown, down the way, OTR, yelling out racial epithets and slurs, trying to cause a scene and trying to, you know, rabble rouse, you know, trying to get people to, you know, to get turned up. And Cincinnati being a predominantly black city, one of our bastions of FBA in America is Cincinnati, Ohio. Knowing that Cincinnati Music Fest / Jazz Fest is a 50 damn near year old event, been going on since I can remember. I remember my mom used to get real jazzy, and a couple of her friends, they would always go every summer to the Cincinnati Jazz Festival. It's a huge deal out this way, huge. Still is to this day. It's just that it's not all about jazz no more. They call it the music festival now. And this so-called Russian guy, alleged Russian guy, earlier reports of other white guys, some of them masked, some of them hooded. Allegedly, these guys who was with the guys or part of the guys that was in Lincoln Heights a couple months ago over the 71 bridge pass and all that, right? Running around talking about F niggas and, you know, racial slurs and whatnot. Basically trying to rabble rouse. What I've been telling y'all, agent provocateurs and rabble rousers abound, not only on YouTube, but in real life. Right? Nah, Daniel Valencia, it ain't happening in America. We ain't them. We ain't them, man. We ain't them, man. I keep telling y'all foreigners keep coming over here to America thinking y'all gonna sit up here and treat us FBAs like how y'all talk to them Africans over there in y'all's countries. It ain't happening. I do not promote violence. I am not gang. I do not gang bang. Non-violent. But when it comes to us FBAs, and specifically in America, if y'all foreigners from other countries where they're predominantly white, Russia, anywhere in Europe, parts of Asia, right? We ain't like them African dudes, man. Y'all come over here and get y'all's asses kicked, man. It ain't 1860, 47 over here no damn more, man. Right? And that's why all this stuff with this whole racial situation is being pushed, because they're trying to ignite a race war in order to use that race war to make more strict anti-terrorist laws. See, the trick bag about this thing right here is you goofy ass white folks in America think that y'all gonna get some type of treatment. But see, y'all been seeing that y'all's little white privilege. Y'all seen the illusion in that shit. This whole thing for the past 60 some odd years in our country, where y'all white people think y'all have this white privilege, right? And I'm not saying that white privilege doesn't exist. I'm just saying that it doesn't apply to all white people. So, with that being said, is there such thing as white privilege, or is it really class privilege? Is it bloodline family privilege? Is it financial status privilege? Because believe it or not, contrary to popular opinions, the largest group of poor people in America on welfare, government assistance, is white folks. And if look at the dominant white society in America looks at poor white people the same as they look at black folks. And we're coming into a time now where the poor whites is starting to see that shit. The poor whites thought they had some privilege because they white. They don't want to be nowhere near you dirty white motherfuckers that live in the hollers and in rural areas of America. They don't want nothing to do with y'all. That's why they tricked y'all into voting for Trump. Right? So the Russian guy, as well as some other alleged punks, that hasn't been confirmed or denied, but even since the news reported on it, I'm gonna say it's been confirmed to a degree, right? You got a bunch of goofy ass crisis actors, or maybe even agents, disguised as rabble rousing neo-Nazis or anti-black white supremacists, right? Or it may actually be somebody who actually feels like that, who due to Trump being in office and certain situations and circumstances feels a little bit emboldened to speak on their anti-black white supremacist ideologies, right? Could be a combination of the two. I'm not saying it's either or, I'm saying it's both, right? Now think about Cincinnati now, HR 1955. So this guy, alleged Russian guys running around talking shit to people, right? There was already reports of these other guys running around saying racial slurs and everything. This dude walking up the street turns back around to go confront the groups of black folks talking shit, saying all type of racial shit, black this, nigga this, that. At first, people were ignoring him. There's even white folks all online. I'm not going to show anybody's content. Y'all seen it or y'all can go see it. It's all type of white folks online since this happened saying, no, that's not how it went down. He started it. He initiated it. He should be prosecuted right along with everybody else. Right? And then the first when this happens, so you got the media twisting this, showing you the bits and pieces of the full clip without showing you the full clip. And Holy 123 ZXC is right about that. That's one of the main reasons why they rounding them up. Right? Because they're not counted for. Right? Well, I mean, what you think is going to happen, though, seriously, though, man? You think that you're going to walk into a group full of black folks in a city like Cincinnati. Now, mind you, you down the way, Jack. You down the way in Cincinnati, man. Niggas live downtown in Cincinnati. I want y'all to understand that Cincinnati, the hood, is still the hood down there. They ain't gentrified the whole down the way. They just now kind of fully gentrifying OTR over the Rhine, which is part of down the way. Right? If you was to go to Cincinnati right now and downtown, it is mostly black folks that live downtown that have always been living downtown in Cincinnati. Right? You think you're going to go, where do you think the riots happen at? You think you're going to go to Cincinnati around massive groups of black folks talking shit, saying racial shit, man. And at first, people weren't paying no attention, man. They was waving him off, keeping it moving, going about their evening, going to whatever bar, restaurant, club, whatever situation they got going on. This dude was walking around, amping shit on, running up on people, talking crazy to them, running up on dudes, started talking crazy to dude. He got so amped up, he fired on dude and slapped him. What did he think was going to happen? That's a fact, Daniel Valencia. I don't know what Russian dude thought was going to happen. I don't know if he thought he was in goddamn it. I don't know if he thought he was in St. Petersburg, Moscow. I don't know where he thought he was at, Kiev, some shit like that. I don't know where he thought he was at. Where the Africans over there. You got to understand where these people is from in their European countries. They're the dominant society. It ain't a lot of us. And anybody that's deeply melanated in these countries, Russia, United Kingdom, Croatia, Hungary, Budapest, Bosnia, you understand what I'm saying? Denmark, Poland, Scotland, goddamn it, Sweden, Norway, all these countries, man, these is white folks over here, man. Ain't no niggas over there, man. And if they is, they Africans. and I hate to say it, man, I think the Europeans done whooped they done whooped the warrior spirit out of our Cleveland brethren and sisters, man. Because y'all African niggas, y'all be wanting to be like white folks, man. And you got to understand, when Africans leave their African country and they go to like Russia or United Kingdom or somewhere like that, you got to understand they're not the dominant society. They can't come and blend in with us and make it. They can't do that in other countries. American populations ain't big in other countries, right? So they got to conduct and carry themselves a certain way when they're in a country like Russia, right? And the Russians over there know what it is. They don't like black folks anyway, right? Ain't no black folks representing government in Russia. Ain't no black folks on TV in Russia, nigga. Huh? They ain't, man. So dude probably was in the mind frame of, I'm in Russia, where the Africans basically kowtow to us because we the dominant society. Listen here, we're not the most population, but we are the dominant society over here. You can believe that, right? That's a fact, Daniel Valencia. That's a fact. Let me tell y'all something, man. That situation that happened in Cincinnati, just the beginning. Ain't the first time, ain't gonna be the last time. Now, speaking of Cincinnati, I want y'all to understand I'm eating some Grippos potato chips. Let's put it on the big screen for y'all. I'm eating Grippos potato chips, right? These are my favorite barbecue chips in the whole freaking world. You understand me? Grippos potato chips is made right here. What'd that say? Y'all see it, right? Grippos is made right here in Cincinnati, Ohio, in the state of Ohio. Best barbecue chips you ever gonna get in your life. I don't think they sell them in anywhere outside of Ohio. I think in Pennsylvania. I think in parts of West Virginia. Maybe in Kentucky. Right? I think Indiana. But outside of that perimeter, you ain't gonna get no Grippos, Jack. Right? I'm some of the best barbecue chips you ever gonna taste, man. Speaking of Cincinnati, right? You know, since it's dope, you go to Cincinnati, you can take a tour of the Grippo factory and all that shit is dope, man. They sell the Grippo seasoning in certain stores. Oh, man. Listen here. Listen here. Right? I just wanted to show y'all that real quick, you know what I'm saying? A lot of my homies from Cincinnati who's getting to their bread, they got that on their, they got that as a chain on, you know what I'm talking about? I know hella Cincinnati niggas with that hanging around their neck on their chain, man. You know, so I just had to show y'all that. And that's the thing, man. It really ain't no secret. That's the crazy part about it, man. These people don't even feel the need to operate in secrecy no more. Right? Oh, let me bring this up on the screen for y'all real quick, though. Right? I don't know if that's the wrong thing, man. Because, you know, YouTube is acting crazy, man. The copyrights and all that crazy stuff, man. You gotta, like I keep telling y'all gotta box cleverly, right? So this is white dude right here, the so-called Russian dude. There were numerous reports of this guy running around downtown talking crass shit to people, man. People was like waving him off, like, man, go on ahead somewhere. He pulled tight on homeboy right here in the red, I think, or the white. Monique Robinson, what's up with you, loved one? And he slapped dude. This is all on camera, man. And the chick that got knocked out, according to what people told me. Now, when I looked on camera, I didn't see this. But according to, like 2 people I talked to, said that old girl spit on one of them dudes. That's why she got knocked the fuck out like that. And when I heard from 2 different sources that don't even know each other in Cincinnati, I said, "Oh damn, that had to be what happened." 2 different people tell me the same thing, right? I'm like, man, I could think that's something that would get your clock clean like that as a woman. Because I'm telling you right now, man, I'm totally nonviolent, man. I will only resort to physical violence if I have to defend myself, man. My daughter, something like that, right? But if you spit on me, that is considered assault, aggravated assault, which means that I have the right to use deadly force in reacting or responding to that type of aggression. I want y'all to understand that. So if you spit on me, I'm going to severely hurt you. Seriously. Like severely. I'm talking about like a lot. You know what I mean? So her getting knocked the fuck out like that and hearing that she spit on somebody, that justifies it. Right? Yeah, she online posting right now. Right? I'm about to pull it up on the screen for y'all. Right? I'm going to pull her up on the screen for y'all right now. Damn. Rock that shit, man. Yeah, they said she spit on dude. She was over there when dude was getting Jade. She tried to jump in. What you think was going to happen? Allegedly, she spit on dude, and she tried to help dude fight. Like, well, I don't understand what some of y'all chicks' logic be in certain situations, man. I don't understand why you don't think a motherfucker guy won't knock one of y'all the fuck out, man. Especially when you step into a situation like this. This is crazy, man. Crazy work, as y'all say. Right? Crazy work, man. Crazy work, man. It's crazy work, man. Sheesh. We're going to see what baby girl got to say, man.
Imagine being able to build the tool you need just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Moving on to another update from that downtown fight. We're hearing from the woman who was brutally attacked 2 weekends ago. Her name, by the way, is Holly. WCVO 9 News anchor Brett Picansky live downtown. Brett, you talked with her.
It was a very brief conversation, Tanya. She was saying that she's still in a lot of pain after what happened to her just about 2 weeks ago here at 4th and Elm. Unfortunately, she was not up for doing an interview today. She's still dealing with a lot of pain, but meanwhile, she is getting a lot of support from a lot of people from all across our country.
I just want to say thank you so much to everyone for all of the love and support.
This is Holly in her own words. In a 53-second video with millions of views and shared thousands of times from politicians like Senator Bernie Moreno, Holly gives an update about what she's going through after getting viciously attacked 2 weekends ago in downtown Cincinnati.
It's very humbling that, have sent your prayers, your blessings. It's definitely what's keeping me going.
The social media post also links to a Give, Send, Go campaign. As of early Monday afternoon, it's already raised nearly $400,000. It's designed to pay for Holly's medical bills, legal fees, security, and loss of work expenses.
You have just brought back faith in humanity. So God bless you all. Thank you.
Okay, that's enough of that. We got a box covered. All right. That's enough of that. All right. You feel me? Running up a check, 280,000. 280,000, y'all. J Cash 39, what's happening? Right? 280 bands, y'all. HR 1955. It's in full effect. It's in full effect, y'all. Yup. Hey, man. It is what it is, man. I'm going to drop the link. I want to see what some of y'all got to say about this. What y'all think about this, right? Now, think about what I told y'all when I talked to y'all about HR 1955. These type of situations are made to happen, even so hard as maybe even orchestrated to happen. Now, I'm not saying that that's just the case with this situation. That information will eventually come out. But make no mistake, this situation right here is definitely a result of certain societal manipulations coming into play. You did? You know what I'm saying? I think y'all can order y'all Grippo chips online too. Y'all can go to Amazon and order y'all some Grippos, right? The former pretty boy was good, man.
What's good, fam? What's happening?
What's happening with your brother out there on that West Coast, man?
You know, staying on the grind time every time, all the time, you know?
I can definitely dig it, man. I already did a show on this when it first happened. You didn't dig this, though, y'all.
Her eye looked like a burnt.
The video that I saw of the police chief of Cincinnati, even after seeing the video that proves that the white boy started the whole situation, she still says she's not going to prosecute him.
Yeah. You know, it doesn't. Can you hear me?
Y'all can hear you.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me though. Yeah, I heard. Yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead and give you the floor and let you talk. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. But like Virgil's saying, this is setting a precedent for other things that they want to do. Because if you notice, you know, little by little, there's a crime bill for this. There's a new bill for this, a crime bill for that. You know what I mean? They keep setting up things, and yes, a lot of it is universal, but obviously they want us to catch it first because we're always the guinea pigs to everything that's being set up. You know what I mean? Right. So basically, so whatever new law that they're going to pass, like that, the whole Asian hate crime bill, you know what I'm saying? So they utilized us Black people as a catapult to start it, to get it to jump off, because they were like, oh well, these Asians are getting beat up by Black people. Oh my God, you know, Black people are just beating up these Asians. So it's like, so then the Asian community, when it took their money, because you guys got to understand that laws are bought. Okay, they're not just signed by some random nigga that works at Taco Bell. You know what I'm saying? That all of a sudden, oh, I'm gonna vote for this law. They don't care nothing about you. And y'all fooling yourselves if you believe that your vote means something if it ain't got no money behind it. You look ridiculous, like a freaking idiot. Okay, laws are bought. Okay, so what they do is they put their money together. These groups they got a voting blocks that they put their money together at these groups, and they go to their local senators, their local congressmen, and they say, "Hey, look it, we got like 80 grand here. We're willing to put this towards your campaign for you to promote this bill next time you have to sit down." And you think he's not going to take that money? You think that these congressmen and these senators and these ombudsmen aren't going to take that money from these people? But you think that they're going to listen to you and you make $40 an hour? Come on, bro. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? This person over here is making $1 million a day, and he's going to be able to call this senator up and say, "Hey, man, you know, there's a stoplight by my house that needs to be fixed." You think he's going to listen to him or you? Let's be realistic, okay, man? You know what I'm saying? Absolute power corrupts and absolute, right? And so what's the most what's the root of all evil? You know what I'm saying? Money. Okay? It's like people really need to
correct you on that, the form pretty boy. Money isn't
what?
the root of all evil. The love of money is the root
No,
of all evil.
The love of money is the root of all evil. Okay, so let me correct my verbiage.
Absolutely love
And
money.
and politicians love money. Okay, so come on. it's like reword it, the same thing. At the end of the day, we buy these politicians, man. It's like, man, there is no such thing. If people honestly gonna sit in front of the and sit and believe that these people are good people, they're not. Okay, these people are not good people. They never have been good people. Never have been. You know what I'm saying? All you have to do is look at history. Do some reading, research. These people are not good people. I don't care what political people that you work for or, you know, or that you believe in or whatever. They are not good people. You know what I mean? Because they have their own interests going on. And a lot of these people are bought and paid for. And relying on these presidents and stuff to think that they're going to change your life. They're not, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole thing is the presidency is based off of is all based off of ancient Greco-Roman civilizations anyways, the way that they set it up. You know what I'm saying? All the way from what everything is it derives from 12, right? 12 cabinet members, 12 disciples. Bro, come on, man. It's simple math. Understand, bro. You know what I'm saying? The 12 people. You know what I'm saying? It all has to do with that. And those are the people that make the decisions the president just presented. Okay. It's like the Knights of the Round Table, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? Correct me if I'm wrong. If you guys know about this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Correct me if I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? Tell me that I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's all this, everything I'm saying is documented. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows that the presidency is not one man. Okay? Come on, wake up. It's not one man. It's a bunch of people that are putting their money and their resources and their ideologies behind this man so he can present it to you dumbass American people and have you guys go out and vote for him. You know what I'm saying? It's a popularity contest and believe that he's doing you right. And so all these laws, how couldn't you not know? How could you not know what they're implementing to you when it's available information? How couldn't you go to your own government? I don't understand this, bro. I cannot understand. How could you go to your own government's website that's presented by your government, that's coming out of the White House, that's coming out of Congress, all these laws and everything, all these documents that they have in online for you out of your own government, the government that you trust, that you believe in, that you hope is going to do you right. They telling you what they doing to you, and you be like, "Oh, I didn't know that." It's available information. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. It's like we got to keep it real. We got to get strong about these things, bro. You know what I'm saying? And push back. You know what I'm saying? If you really want to, if you really about it. Otherwise, people just need to just be like, just take it. How they giving it to you. You know what I'm saying? And go stand at the poll. You know what I'm saying? Go stand at the poll and cast your vote because that means something, right? You know what I'm saying? That really means something. You know what it is? It's to get you to believe in a system that has destroyed millions, billions of people around the world. And they're going to continue to implement it over and over again. What Virgil is telling you guys is 110% true. It's real. It's like there's secret societies, shadow governments, all that stuff. And they're not scared to hide it now. They're telling you we have it. And people are saying, oh yeah, today in local news, one of our celebrities, you just died. Worried about freaking Hulk Hogan. You know what I'm saying, bro? Stop it, man. You need to wake up, bro. You know what I'm saying?
And
And
that's why I'm
the
just
shit
saying
in
that. Go ahead.
sorry, man. The shit in Cincinnati, bro. It's the stuff in Cincinnati. We knew it was coming. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that's just one thing. You know what I'm saying? That's just one thing. You know what I'm saying? We're always having like these. There's always the thing is like, bro, there's riots and fights every single day in this country. Every single day there is a fight, there's a riot, there's fools getting jumped on every single day. Tell me I'm wrong. Somewhere in this country. You know what I'm
Definitely
saying?
going on every single day for sure.
Every single day. But they chose this one. Come on, man. Wake up, bruh. You know what I'm saying? These people really need to wake up and see what's really being shown to you in front, you know what I'm saying? That's being shown to us. You know what I'm saying? That this thing right here, why all of a sudden these Russians from out of nowhere just decide to walk down the street at a jazz festival and just be like, N-word, N-word, N-word. Let me go bust some cars up. N-word, N-word, N-word. Let me go
Get
bust
some
some.
cars and some other shit. What he thought was gonna happen?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Why? Like, think about it, but really think about it. Really think about this. Out of all the things that they can do, what, you know, common sense would think, okay, this is not a right situation or right place to be to do something like this, right? Right. Okay. Even as a foreigner, you should know when you go to a country and you know that they got some history and you decide to start yelling and doing something, something's gonna happen to you. And and Russians ain't stupid people. You know what I'm saying? They're not like some third world country full of dumb people that can't read and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. They're not dumb people. Okay. They knew something was gonna happen. But you know what? Also, we have to realize that there's a lot of laws also implemented for people to become victims of violent crimes, and you're a foreigner, and you're a foreigner. It's like they'll give you a pathway to citizenship for that. If you snitch on somebody and you're a foreigner, if you snitch on somebody and you tell it, you know what I'm saying? They give you a pathway to citizenship. You know what I'm saying? But these are the things that Trump is trying to shut down. You know what I'm saying? When his organization is trying to shut down, they're trying to stop this. They're trying to stop those things, which is understandable. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, this thing in Cincinnati is like what Virgil's saying. It's to set forth something else, another new law, another new implementation. You know what I'm saying? Pretty soon and it'll be something simple. It'll be something real small. If you watch the patterns throughout history, you know what I'm saying, you'll see something, it'll be something small. It'll be like a city ordinance that people can't be out after 10 o'clock, or a city ordinance like you can't gather in groups of 4, or you can't gather in groups of 5. It'll be something small like that, and they'll just keep building from there. That's what they do. And if you look throughout history and pay attention, it's like they do it all the time. It'll be one incident that happened. Next thing, they'll implement a little law, and then that'll build from another law. Then it'll be a bigger law, and then next thing you know, it'll be like you guys can't be outside unless you're at work. Then it'll be something then it'll be like what happened during COVID, essential workers pulling people over. What are you doing outside? You know what I'm saying? Because they was doing stuff like that.
Checking
People
your papers basically is what the form pretty soon now you're gonna have to be checking your papers. Who are you? And that's why you gotta think about the whole situation with the illegal immigrants too. This is what this is all about. Now y'all gotta be able to see the play. Now I want to point something out to y'all, right? This legislation, HR 1955, right? They have findings, what they call findings, as a result of this legislation being passed and what they're going to use to enforce it upon, right? In the findings of H.R. 1955, I think about a total of like 10 of them, right? 9. Finding number 3, the internet has aided in facilitating violent radicalization, ideologically based violence, and homegrown terrorism process in the United States by providing access to broad and constant streams of terrorist-related propaganda to United States citizens. Now, I want y'all to understand what that means right here. The U.S. government knows that the internet is being used to push and promote this stuff. Hell, it's one of the main pushers and promoters of it on it. But I want y'all to look at the contradiction. I want y'all to look at the hypocrisy, right? As they're saying that we can be violently radicalized through content we watch on the internet, they regulate everything that is allowed to be on the internet. So think about that, right? I want y'all to really think about that. Now let's go to number 4, right? While the United States must continue its vigilant efforts to combat international terrorism, it must also strengthen efforts to combat the threat posed by homegrown terrorists based and operating within the United States. Now, like my man, the former Pretty Boy just said, and this is a fact, and there's lots of reasons for this, but we're not going to get into none of that because that's not what this show is about tonight. But like I always tell y'all, this thing with this UN Agenda 2030 for global sustainability, with this HR 1955, this is aimed at all people that's considered American citizens and even ones that's not. I want y'all to understand that. But as always, of course, us, FBAs, of course, we the ones that got to get it first because we the biggest threats. Now, I mean, from a certain perspective and aspect, that's something to be proud of. But then again, it's not, right? But what it should do, it should be waking us up. It should be letting us know that all this little petty infighting we got going on amongst us, we need to dead that shit. Seriously. And we got to point out those amongst us who would be agent provocateurs, rabble rousers, traitors, Benedict Arnold ass, niggas, right? We got to be able to make that separation. And then I want to get to this too, right? This right here is the most devastating finding out of all these findings, in my opinion, right? Because this finding number 5 in HR 1955, the Violent Radicalization and Homegrown Terrorism Prevention Act, is the most, it's the most pivotal point in all of this legislation, because it lets you know what the U.S. government and those who actually run it have planned for us. And when I say us, I don't mean just us black folks. I mean all U.S. citizens and non-citizens for that matter. Now I'm about to read this, right? Understanding the motivational factors that lead to violent radicalization, homegrown terrorism, and ideologically based violence is a vital step toward eradicating, I repeat, eradicating Dr. Umar Johnson, fraudulent, broke, scamming ass, 3 times neurolinguistic programming ass nigga, eradicating these threats in the United States. Now, when I read this legislation to y'all, this is something that I noticed, right? And this is go to show how heavy and deep the indoctrination is actually set in on most of us, right? I just read this sentence to y'all. And I'm going to break this sentence down in layman's terms for those of y'all who may not comprehend what this sentence is saying. I'm going to repeat it again. Understanding the motivational factors that lead to violent radicalization. This is the U.S. government talking now, y'all. Understanding the motivational factors that lead to violent radicalization, homegrown terrorism, and ideologically based violence is a vital step towards eradicating these threats in the United States. I want y'all to understand that the United States government and the people who actually run it, with the help of the military and the now coming robot army, they want to eradicate violent radicalization, homegrown terrorism, and ideologically based violence. Now, to put things into a wider perspective for y'all, like I have done before and will always continue to do, right? We got to think about words. This is why I'm such a big guy on words, y'all. It says that the United States wants to eradicate these things, right? And you don't have to be a collegiate student from Oxford to understand what eradicate means. Eradicate means to destroy completely, put an end to, get rid of, eliminate, do away with, remove, suppress, exterminate, destroy, annihilate, extirpate, obliterate, kill, wipe out. And when I read this legislation to my people, specifically my people, it's like a glaze go over y'all. I can see it through the computer screen, like a glaze go over y'all eye. What this nigga talking about? Y'all don't even understand what I'm reading to y'all right now. And the fact that I know a lot of y'all not only don't understand, but don't even care, that highly makes me upset, and it lets me know, and this is why our society is the way it is now, is letting these people know that we are primed and prepped for taking over. Damn near ain't even gonna put up a fight. The fact that I can read that sentence to y'all and tell y'all and better explain or put on display what the actual definition of eradicate means, and then in the same token show y'all that the U.S. government wants to eradicate violent radicalization, eradicate ideologically based violence. So basically what I'm telling y'all is that the U.S. government wants to eradicate the ability of you to use, plan to use, or threaten to use your mental or moral strength. They want to eradicate that shit. Your ability to influence change. They want to eradicate that shit. Destroy it, annihilate it, obliterate it, extirpate it, destroy it completely. Do you understand what that means? And the fact that nobody's just that is very, very upsetting to me. Very disturbing. That's why I continue to break this stuff down and I talk about this stuff. Right?
And you're a blessing that does that, bro. Because no one else even speaks about this stuff, not from our communities. Right. You know what I'm saying? Not, it's just they don't, because because everybody wants to live in a fog in a neighborhood of make believe. They want to live in Disneyland and think that these people are good people, that they have their interest at heart, but they don't, and they prove it to us over and over and over and over again. And how many times do people have to be taught a lesson? This is what I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? How many times people, remember, Virgil, real quick, I'm going to cut you off, but man, I got to show respect to you. I got to show respect to you in regards to this. You know what I'm saying? When you do shows like this, I definitely got to show respect in regards to that. Because remember, I threw in the chat, I was like, it started with the Patriot Act. See, people forget about the whole thing with the Patriot Act and what it was, because I've been on the internet a long time, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like this is not new to me. You know what I'm saying? I had a computer in my house in 1995. You know what I'm saying? When Windows came out the first year. So I always dealt with computers. You know what I'm saying? I've always dealt with the internet. I've always dealt with social media. So in 2001, 2002, when they first implemented the Patriot Act, right? So right now, all this new implementing these regulations on, on the internet and stuff. Before, the internet was way more free. It was way more crazy back in the day, and they started having a lot of problems. There was a lot of criminal stuff going on the internet that was way open. That's why you have the dark web now. You know what I'm saying, if you've actually been on there, and that's a whole entirely thing, which is very hard for them to stop. You know what I'm saying? But the whole idea is them just cutting off our voices. You know what I'm saying? That's why things like YouTube, back to your point, things like YouTube, you know what I'm saying? They try to throw copyright strikes. They try to throw strikes at you. When once upon a time, when YouTube first would first hit the scene, YouTube was pretty much free fall. You know what I'm saying? At one point, you know what I'm saying? There was no real regulation on YouTube as it is now. There was no real copyright striking on YouTube, but then they started doing it slowly and slower, more and more, because then as law enforcement started to get hit to the fact that they can actually catch criminals online, you know what I'm saying, the more these they started putting pressure on these businesses. Hey, you got people on here doing copyright infringement. Hey, you got people on here carrying guns. You got people on here, all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But back to my original point in regards to the Patriot Act. The Patriot Act was for them to basically push ultimate surveillance so they could surveil everything about you. You know what I'm saying? When you think your phone is off, actually the camera's on. You know what I'm saying? And they're actually watching you. Okay. You think that's why as of recent, as you know, they've actually taken out the cell phones. Before, you had a battery in your cell phone, right? Everybody remember you had a battery. You take your battery out, you can replace your battery, blah, blah, blah. It's like, so now they're making phones where the phone is the battery, right? Right? Correct, right? Like, the reason why is now, before, you could, whenever you wanted, when you found out that you were being watched or whatever, or surveyed, you just take your battery out of your phone, right? It's like and now it doesn't matter because the battery is the phone. You know what I'm saying? So now, that way, there, no matter what, you could turn your phone off, and they could still ping your phones where your phone is at. You know what I'm saying? A few months back, I got robbed. Okay. I literally was inside of a store, and I got robbed. Okay. I got robbed. The whole store got robbed. I was just in the wrong place, wrong time. Okay. Who's had the gun, to use that? I was in the store, they was being robbed. I was like, oh man, it's only me, right? So what happened? You know how long it take for them to catch those people? Now, this is the middle of the Bay Area, right? I'm in Redwood City, California, so it's about 10 minutes. Where this happened, it was like 10 minutes away from like actual Silicon Valley. They know this place is like known as Cop Town because the biggest building in the city is the jail. You know what I'm saying? And it's the county jail. It's the tallest building, tallest skyscraper is the jail. Okay. So what actually happened is they caught them people within an hour. You know what I'm saying? After they robbed this place. You know what I'm saying? After they robbed the store, they caught him within an hour. The cop comes up to me. I'll tell you what he did. He came up to me, and he asked me questions. And the whole time he was talking to me, his phone kept going off, and he was holding his phone, and you hear beep, 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 and it would be facial recognition of the people, beep, 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 beep. And I was like looking at his phone while he was doing it, while he was talking to me, just out the side of my eye, and it was like beep, 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 beep. Another picture would come up, another picture would come up, another picture would come up. But keep in mind, these people have masks. They robbed me they have masks on their face. So it doesn't even matter if they have masks because it goes by the eyes. So the way that pings in is goes by the eyes, and then from the eyes, then it gives a possible match. You know what I'm saying? And then from that point, they start pinging that person's phone, where their phone is at, and that person, and even if your battery's in your phone or not. So they caught those people within an hour, bro. They caught them chilling at the Denny's, like about 3 miles away. You know what I'm saying? And it's all based off of surveillance. So back to the Patriot Act. Patriot Act is, they're surveilling you, and they know everything that you're doing, regardless. You know what I'm saying? If you're using any type of phone, computer, whatever like that, is like they got you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like what do you do? You know what I mean? So back to the homegrown based violence, of course they want to eradicate. And who are they trying to eradicate first? Us. You know what I'm saying? And they want to eradicate the free thinking. They want to eradicate your ability to even be able to defend yourself, physically. You know what I mean? So Yeah, but you're a blessing for bringing these things, these topics up. You know what I'm saying? Because this is real stuff. This is the stuff. You know, everything else is kind of basic. Who you know, who this person said, what this person said today, or you know, stuff that's in the news is very basic. And a lot of times it's just a smokescreen over the stuff that they're really trying to implement on our society.
And that's a fact, man. And I want to thank the former people for coming up here and giving this perspective. About to wrap things up, but I just want to say this, man. They're coming for all of us, man. But they gotta come for us first, because we the last group of folks that got that warrior spirit in us still. They done pretty much quailed the rest of y'all. And they trying to do it with us, but it ain't gonna happen. But with that being said, I want y'all to understand the severity of the situation. Now, regarding what happened in Cincinnati, right? J.D. Vance is from Ohio, right? Mike Husted is out of Ohio. Vivek Ramaswamy is out of Ohio. I want y'all to understand the key players. Joyce Beatty is out of Ohio. I want y'all to understand the key players. Mike DeWine is out of Ohio. I want y'all to understand these people and who they are in business in concert with. Now, let's talk about HR 1955 in connection with Cincinnati. Right? Violent radicalization, homegrown terrorists, ideologically based violence. And I want y'all to understand that the U.S. government wants to eradicate this stuff. That means you, that means me, that means everybody, anybody who does anything that is in opposition, right, to what the U.S. government policy is, you going to be considered and are considered, as of per the Patriot Act, you considered enemy combatants. But see, they done took it a step further with HR 1955. Now we homegrown terrorists.
Yep.
Y'all see how they split it in, paused, and merged it, and now it affects us. See, first, this legislation was supposed to be against foreign motherfuckers. But now, as always planned, now it's on us. Right? Because one thing for sure, two things for certain, y'all. We ain't got to worry about nobody from no other country coming in here bombing nothing. If anybody from any other place on earth comes in America bombing shit, it's because they was allowed to do it or told to do it.
Exactly.
I want y'all to understand the military surveillance capability of the U.S. government at Mount Weather, at Cheyenne Mountain, at NORAD. I want y'all to understand the surveillance technological capabilities this government has. They can look at you sweating on a hot summer day from outer space on your front porch or while you're in your house in your front room with the fan on in 6K. So when you sit up here and think about stuff like that, understand that when it comes to homegrown terrorism, they know who everybody is. And they made this legislation so broad that it can't really single out one group of people. Because let me show y'all this from the HR 1955. And this is going to bake y'all's noodle, because this is the contradiction I'll be talking about. This is what I'll be talking about when I'm talking about the U.S. government, right? And how they manipulate us with these words and this language, and how they are hypocrites, right? I'm about to bring up HR 1955 again, right? We're going to go to the text. Let me put it on the screen for y'all before we sit up here and get up out of here, man. You're going to go to the text. We're going to scroll down, right? Now peep this. Y'all want y'all to really understand this, man, right? individuals prone to violent radicalization, homegrown terrorism, and ideologically based violence span all races, all ethnicities, and all religious beliefs, and all individuals should not be targeted. Here's the contradiction. You should not be targeted. It doesn't say will not be targeted. It doesn't say shall not be targeted. It says should not be targeted based solely on their race, ethnicity, or religion. See, that's the twist right there. That's the mind fuck right there. Although this legislation isn't geared towards any specific religion, race, or ethnicity, but you should not be targeted by this legislation based solely on your race, ethnicity, or religion. So I want y'all to understand, man, when it comes to HR 1955, this is the catalyst legislation after the Bolin Act, after the U.S. Patriot Act 1 and 2. You know what I'm saying? After the Military Commissions Act, right? This is, we get 2007, we get this. And this is setting the catalyst for everything that's going on right now, so it can deem us all homegrown terrorists. See, the Patriot Act called us enemy combatants and set up the infrastructure to where we can be massively surveilled at all times. And now that that's successful, now we all call homegrown terrorists, right? Which means the very fact that we consider the terrorists, we can be met with such level of violent force as to be eradicated simply for threatening to use, planning to use, or actually using our mental and moral strength, which is a definition of force.
Just like Virgil, just like this is a prime example. Like, these people are like the whole illegal migration thing that's going on right now, and how everybody's saying, oh man, they're supposed to have a warrant. They're supposed to have a warrant. It's like, no. Article 246 of the Constitution actually says that, hey, they don't need a freaking warrant. You know what I'm saying? That they don't need any warrant. There's judicial warrants, you know what I'm saying, that they may need to enter your house. But if you're out in public, you know what I'm saying, they have a right to arrest you. They have a right to arrest you. If you're out in public, they have a right to arrest you. They have a right to approach you and ask you questions about your legal status. You know what I'm saying? That is an actual law. You know what I'm saying? They have a right to approach you. So don't be fooled by what these people are saying on TV, telling you they need a warrant. They approached this person without a warrant and all that stuff. It's all nonsense. That's why they're able to snatch those people up and take them and whisk them away into the night, because they don't need a warrant. You know what I'm saying? And that's the first that's the first implementation, is for them to do that to you and me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, at one point, you know what I'm saying, enemy combatants, you know what I'm saying, enemies of the state, because Trump did declare gangs like MS-13, gangs like this, you know, all these gangs. I don't know specific ones. I know MS-13 was mentioned.
MS-13.
Yeah, Nicaragua, MS-13, like mainly like foreign entities. There's like, yeah, the cartels and stuff like that, mainly foreign entities. But watch when he starts calling out names like Bloods, Crips, BG, D.
Are already considered. Y'all can see, y'all went from being gangs, now they're calling y'all STG, security threat groups. Now that's a whole different. That's going to lead into y'all becoming homegrown terrorists.
Yep, because then they're going to start snatching them up, and guess what? You know what I'm saying? If they think they could automatically say, well,
look at what happened with Keefe D. Look what happened with Big U. What y'all think is the legislation in place in order for them to do that?
Yep, and they could automatically say, look, all right, we think that this person, they could easily use this and be like, oh, we think that your grandfather was actually from Trinidad. So you might actually be illegal. They'll start pulling stuff like that, or all kinds of stuff that they could do in regards to that. You know what I'm saying? Through those laws, like the ones you're speaking about. So it's just gonna get worse. So the thing is, they've been trying to implement these things for a very, very long time. And I heard how you mentioned, the back of the dollar bill and the God that they believe in and things of that nature and stuff like that. But it's like all that stuff on the back of the dollar is Spanish Moor symbolism. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is, or ancient Latin, should I say. That's what it's written in ancient Latin on the back of the dollar bill, right? Because in reality, let's keep it 110%. Like Latin language is actually a demonic language, bro. Okay, come on, face it. It's like it is the demonic language. That's why they speak. A lot of sentence structure is spoken backwards, not forward. It's like Yoda talk. Okay, so so, bro, it's like, man, and they've been doing this for centuries, for years. They've been trying to implement these things to have global control over every single person on the planet to be able to know where they at, where they going, how much money they make, how much food they eat, whatever, how many kids they got, where they come from. It's like when people talk about they cannot find out where they're from, these government people know where people are from. They know exactly about a lot of these people. You know what I'm saying? They know majority. That's why a lot of these presidents and congressmen can trace their lineage back for centuries since the old country. It's like they know where people are from. They know where they come from. They know they have actual notations. It's like you may not know, but they know. You know what I'm saying? So they know and there's certain type of people that they want to get rid of, that they want to want to eradicate them. They want to get rid of their lineage. They want to get rid of their family. They want to get rid of all of them because a lot of times there's like people that come from warriors and soldiers that certain periods in time that they actually did things to these people back in the day. You know what I'm saying? They have ancient battles that they've been fighting with each other before this country even existed as a nation. You know what I'm saying? And they're continuing those battles are old. It's just like when you see like these wars between Israel and Palestine, you know what I'm saying? It goes back further than what we're seeing now. You know what I'm saying? It's like these are wars that will never stop. You know what I'm saying? And it's always going to be that way. You know what I mean? Because until one side will have the upper hand at one point in time, and the other side will have the upper hand at another point in time. It's like, but when it comes to things like this that happen in Cincinnati, pay attention, people. It's like, watch what happens after this and what new laws and what new legislation is going to be passed because it's going to affect you, not you, but you, not you, not the you. It's going to affect you.
That's a fact. Appreciate you coming through the form, pretty boy, man. Everybody get up out of here, man. I appreciate you coming through and adding on to the conversation. Because what the brother said is absolute facts. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, man. Oh, they coming for us. They coming for y'all ass too. Don't get it twisted, man. Don't get so caught up in your politics or your social economic status that you think you exempt from this. Anybody, man, everybody in this country is considered an enemy combatant per the Patriot Act. Everybody is considered a homegrown terrorist per HR 1955. So if you think somehow you exempt, you think that this ain't going to apply to you, you see what's happening. What has been happening over the years? Have we been seeing happening? White folks getting the business from this government. Asian folks, black folks, like we've been, right? Now you Latinos are seeing it, right? Just letting you know that this is for everybody, man. Don't ever get that twisted. Don't ever forget that. Don't think it ain't gonna happen to you like an old saying goes about in World War II in the concentration camps. First, they came for the trade unionists, and I said nothing because I'm not a trade unionist. Then they came for the communists, and I ain't say nothing about it because I'm not a communist. They came for the Christians, they came for the Jews, and I ain't say nothing. But when they came for my black ass, it was easy to scoop me up because there wasn't nobody around to speak for me. So if you think that they just coming after us and not y'all, something wrong with you, right? Because everybody is considered a homegrown terrorist according to HR 1955. No one is exempt. If y'all pay attention to that last finding I read to y'all, it said that nobody, right, will be not held accountable based solely upon their race, religion, and their ethnicity. That means everybody. That means you. That means me. That means your daddy, your auntie, your goddamn uncle, whoever, senators, presidents, whoever. Y'all see what they doing? It don't matter. Athletes, billionaires, it don't matter. What you say or do go against the grain, off with your head. Literally, because they want to eradicate this stuff, which means to completely destroy and annihilate, kill.
Yep, that's the whole thing. They want to eliminate us all. You mean they want to eliminate anybody with a warrior spirit? They want robots, bro. It's like that's why they're designing robots, and they know that they can't make people into robots because people, we have independent thought, we have free thinking. You know what I'm saying? So they can't make you into a robot. They're trying. They are freaking trying. They're trying their hardest, but it's not working. It's not working. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, like, they don't want the threat of another of some type of uprising. It's like, because the thing is, like, if they have one type of uprising, then they have another type of uprising. That's why, like, the border patrol and stuff like that, they've already been compromised years ago. So there's no way that they can actually stop anything that would really stop the stuff that's being pushed in through the border, all the drugs and all that stuff. Because, like, you know, hey, look at mijo, check this out, mijo. Paco, he needs to come across. You know, he needs to come across tomorrow. Do you think you could just, like, let him come across? He said he's willing to pay you like 50,000. You know what I'm saying? Over and over and over again. So it's already been compromised. So look at it from a military standpoint, where, you know what I'm saying, in the US military standpoint, and the people that actually run this little organization, this little corporation that we call the USA. It's like they know that they've been compromised because there's a lot of people here that are in the military, that are in the CIA, that are in all these groups that don't agree with US politics. So if something jumps off and pops off, what you think they're just gonna let these people murder their family and their children and their and their cousins and uncles and grandparents? They've infiltrated the government. So we got a big war going on. You know what I'm saying? Because some of those fools will push back. You know what I'm saying? I'm a gunner, and you want me to go and gun down the people that are in my neighborhood, in the neighborhood that I'm from? You know what I'm saying? That I was born and raised in? You know what I'm saying? The people treated me good. You think I'm just gonna go and gun them down? Nah, I got a plan. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of us in these that are in these situations. You know what I'm saying? That, like, they've been compromised just as much as us. So they want to implement all machine. You know what I'm saying? And get you out. That's why what you're talking about, Virgil, when you're talking about everybody having one wage or getting the thing where they just want people at wages. You know what I'm saying? And you have allowance, right? You know what I'm saying? And to get people with allowances, because what's the main thing that makes people turn crazy? We know it's poverty. You know what I'm saying? Poverty will make people desperate and they start tripping. So that's one of the things they're trying to implement. But, you know, they want machines because they want us to be less threatening as possible. You know what I'm saying? Less threatening as possible. It's like, even if they have to create a fake utopia, like they're trying to create, you know what I'm saying, in some type of way, but leaving you under total control, like just like the Matrix. I'm out, Virgil. Good looking out. Thank you for coming in.
That's why I was telling y'all, go watch that movie Ready Player One, man. You know what I'm saying? Watch Black Mirror, man, on Netflix. We about to get up out of here, though, man. Listen, Wednesday, speaking of robots, I've been telling y'all that the robot army is here. And it's definitely here in my city, Columbus, Ohio, right out here in Dublin. They got the robot police. Y'all think this is a game, don't y'all, man? Right? No, the robot army is here. And we're going to talk about it on Wednesday. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. I appreciate everybody coming out tonight. Shout out to my homie, the former pretty boy, everybody else in the audience, man. Too many people to name right now. Y'all know who y'all are. Y'all know y'all my loved ones, and I'll rock with y'all, man. I appreciate all the support. I'm about to get up out of here, man. Listen, tighten up, y'all, man. Inform yourselves, man. Do your due diligence, man. Right? You know, I pay attention to a lot of bullshit too, though, man. But listen here, y'all. All that is distraction. They don't want us sitting up here talking about HR 1955. This video ain't gonna get put out to thousands of people. They don't want people to even understand or know what it is. Right? Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. Tomorrow night, you already know what it is. Hold on real quick. Tomorrow night, you already know what it is, man. We're gonna get straight to it. You know. Tuesday night wrap up with my brother King Els, you know what I'm talking about, sports show. We definitely gonna get to it tomorrow. Let me bring this up for y'all real quick before we get up out of here. That's a nigga good. Right?
Thanks.
I know we're gonna talk about this tomorrow. Let me put it up on the screen for y'all real quick so y'all can just get a brief glimpse of what we're gonna be on tomorrow night. Of course, we're gonna be talking about a whole bunch of stuff, but we definitely gonna be talking about this goofy ass dude right here, amongst other goofies in the sports world. It's crazy, man. We're gonna talk about that tomorrow out, man. You know what I'm talking about? You know, amongst other things, trust me. You feel me? But yeah, that's, you know, y'all already how we do on Sports Tuesday, man. Tap in, walk with us, man. Appreciate everybody coming out. You already know what it is, man. Shout out to my brother North 66. Shout out to John Boy, man. This is an E&E banger, man. See y'all tomorrow, man. FBA all day, every day, no days off. E&E every day, all day, no days off. You eat.
What question is it? Been to hat.
Task Force, Black Force, we the tag team. If it's a nightmare, then it must be a bad dream. E&E, running our lanes like a track meet, skipping over hurdles. Call us a track team, all paperwork legit. It's the fact team, then double up the championship belts like a tag team. Black on black, yeah, it's a black thing. Black jewelry shining on all of our black kings. All black everything, we got black tea. All black coffee, man, I don't add green. North give you all you need, no more caffeine. Close down the whole set, no more casting. Remove targets off our back like a black team. We keep growing up the game like a black team. The girl got a problem with me, then get at me. I'm tired to a bumper, now you got a drag queen. You can't stop me, you old as jalopy. This is past me, and I got it photocopy. Caught up on film, flow, tracks and sloppy. Trying to attack me, you a carbon copy. Around seek the heat like 10 mini blocks, and I charge for a hook, put me in a penalty box. Man, I'm killing the ops while I look at my watch. All hands on deck like the time on the clock. Task Force, Black Force, we the tag team. If it's a nightmare, then it must be a bad dream. E&E, running our lanes like a track meet, skipping over hurdles. Call us a track team, all paperwork legit. It's the fact team, then double up the championship belts like a tag team. Black on black, yeah, it's a black thing. Black jewelry shining all on our black
Keep my grass cut low to catch a glimpse of the snakes. Devilish serpents with purpose to steal your cake. Smiling in your face while they got their eyes on your safe. Yeah. Boy, that hatred, man, they make you do some foul things. Switch up on your niggas like the numbers when the Dow change. When I'm with familiar, still a grind like a broke. Take it for granted, should be going in the proof of smoke. Better put your plan in action, niggas get too used to hope. Formulated the plan, calculated the steps. 2020, my vision, see my way to the check. Get it. Only way is up, I made my way to the steps. Let's go. Look. Only way to move is building kingdom shit. Niggas won't make a move, want you to bring them shit. But God bless the child that can hold his own. They want to give you numbers in his cell like a mobile phone. But fuck a cop, any wicked, you this was just fuck. Cause niggas on the edge, there for you to push. Bullets loaded tight up in that magazine. Bring a nightmare to American dreams.
Task force, black force, we the tag team. If it's a nightmare, then it must be a bad dream. E&E, running our lanes like a track meet, skipping over hurdles. Call us a track team, all paperwork legit. It's the fact team, then double up the championship belts like a tag team. Black on black, yeah, it's a black thing. Black jewelry shining on our black kings.